Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report, presented today by Manscaped, the makers of the #1 men's grooming products on the internet and the makers of the Platinum Package. We'll tell you all about that later on in today's show. But remember, you get 20% off and free shipping on all their products when you use promo code COWBOYS at manscaped.com. Coming up on today's show are 4 different Dallas Cowboys trade ideas pitched by Fansided as trades that could make the Cowboys contenders in 2022. Some good ideas and one really bad idea that we'll include. Originally, today's video was going to be some more minicamp news, notes, and takeaways, but the only news and note and takeaway is that there was no practice held today, changed instead to undisclosed team bonding activities, which I'm totally fine with, by the way. There were probably watermelons involved, which I like to make fun of, but it also kind of worked last year, so we'll find out tomorrow if McCarthy and crew smashed some more watermelons around at Cowboys Minicamp. We will have Minicamp winners and losers on tomorrow's live Cowboys Report, so make sure you guys subscribe. That way you don't miss out on our Cowboys live show and our daily videos here at the Cowboys Report. Our first trade target idea is on Jalen Reagor, who we've mentioned briefly before on the show. A player I think the Eagles would be totally fine moving on from because they save negative money if they were to cut him, so it's trade or bust. At this stage, kind of already feels like Reagor needs a change of scenery, and perhaps Dallas could be a good destination for him in that sense. He's from the DFW area, of course, played at TCU. His contract is cheap, $1.82 million this year, $2.42 in 2023, and a 5th-year option in 2024, which this point the Eagles certainly are not going to pick up. He does bring 2 things the Cowboys kind of lack, and this was the main pitch from Fansided. Number 1 is speed. Tolbert's not slow, but he's not like a true top-end burner in the same way Reagor is a sub-4.4 guy, which Reagor, had he ran at the right weight at pro day or combine, would have cracked pretty easily. I like the speed he brings. Now, we also have to adjust our expectations for Jalen Reagor. If I had told you this was his level of production in year 1 and he was the Cowboys' first-round pick, we would have gone, that's not quite what we're looking for, but good first season. Well, it's 2 years combined for Reagor. He is not going to be the hyped player that I and many others thought he was going to be coming out of TCU, but he could be a punt returner for you as well. Did a little bit of that in Philadelphia, was better in that limited role in 2020, not nearly as productive in 2021, but it does give you an actual proven guy who did it at a pretty high level in college and has done it somewhat in the NFL. We're not done with the Reagor trade conversation here, but will the Cowboys actually make a trade? This is, well, you know how Deion Jones likes to operate. It's player acquisition is a 365-day job, and that they've literally spent 2 days on it this year outside of the draft because all of their outside free agent signings have come on 2 days. So will the Cowboys actually make a trade? This is the pinned comment on today's video. If the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, type in Y for yes, or type in N for no. Now, Fansided did not put together actual trade packages, so I will do that for them because, yes, producer Jeremy, they are cowards. Eagles get a 6th-round pick. The Cowboys get Jalen Reagor. Jeremy said he wanted a 5th, which makes me think I am right in the actual trade value for Jalen Reagor. I think of the 4 names on this list, Reagor is probably the most gettable / able to be obtained from a contract perspective, from a trade value perspective, and from the opposing team. I know that NFC East trades are rare. The Cowboys and Eagles actually seem to get along pretty well from a front office trade perspective. We'll see how Jalen Tolbert fares as the punt returner, but I do think Reagor is actually a decent name to keep an eye out for at the wide receiver spot. We mentioned that today's show is presented by Manscaped. Father's Day is just around the corner, so shake what your daddy gave you by using Manscaped's product. 52% off the Platinum Package. This is their best deal yet. In total, we're talking about a $250 plus total item individual pricing standpoint, the lawnmower 4.0, the body wash, the shampoo and conditioner, the deodorant, the ball toner, the ball conditioner, the travel case, and the boxers as well. 52% off, all the way down to $123.99 when you use promo code Cowboys at manscaped.com. That link will be in the comments section and in the description. It is Father's Day, so whether you're a dad like I am, you want to be someone's father, or be a daddy, just be someone's daddy instead. Use Manscaped's products, promo code Cowboys, manscaped.com. The pitch was contenders, and this is the number one name to take the Cowboys to the next level on this list. Jessie Bates, the safety of the Cincinnati Bengals. If you had told me Bates was obtainable, a year ago, I would have been all over this idea. Now, I think they're actually okay. Bates would give the Cowboys an outright elite safety room. Jessie Bates, Jaron Kearse, Malik Hooker, and then Donovan Wilson as your top four. That is the safety room I've dreamed of for years for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Bates has not yet signed his franchise tag, so he is able to hold out, unlike Dalton Schultz tried and failed to do for the Cowboys to an extent. He was tagged by the Bengals, and he wants a big fat deal near the top of the market, which we'll get into how that's changed in a minute. But I actually don't think safety's that big of a need anymore for the Cowboys. Jaron Kearse and Malik Hooker, after the Cowboys last year spent the least amount of investment from a draft capital and monetary standpoint, they found two hidden gems in both Kearse and Hooker. And yes, they use multiple safety looks, so you could still play all three guys with Bates, but you also have Donovan Wilson, who we all thought would be safety 1 last year, and he was basically safety 4 in large part due to injuries. Now, Bates is coming off a down year, quote unquote, from a pass breakups and interception standpoint, from 15 and 3. Respectively, to 4 and 1. He also balled out in the playoffs and picked off 2 passes. He's not an elite tackler, but he does have great range and playmaking ability. Here's the number one issue with the Cowboys and Bates. Money, as we know so well from Deion Jones' mindset. Minkah Fitzpatrick has reset the safety market. And even if Jessie Bates doesn't get more than Minkah, which I'm sure he's asking for, we'll see if he actually gets it from anybody, he's going to be upwards of $16 million. That's what Jamal Adams and Harrison Smith got. He's going to surpass Justin Simmons. The Cowboys weren't going to give Simmons anywhere near $15 million had he been available for them. I don't think they'd get that amount of money for Jessie Bates either. Trade value-wise, I think a second-round pick is pretty fair. To be honest, I think we can take the Jamal Adams trade and throw it out the window. I don't know of any Cowboys Report watcher who wanted him for 2 first-round picks, and you're not going to get close to that on another safety deal in the future. I think a second-rounder is pretty fair. 2 more names coming up, but I have a question for you now. We're looking at Fansided's list today, and I'm offering my own opinions on it, and I want to hear from you. Of the realistic names, so don't put Aaron Donald in there, for example, name a player who you would love to see the Cowboys go out and trade for. The third name on this list, spoiler alert, sucks. Adam Shaheen, tight end of the Miami Dolphins. I don't want to body Fansided too hard on today's show, but this one ain't it. Shaheen was pitched in the article as a Schultz replacement or at least veteran depth. And he is actually maybe even more gettable from an actual availability standpoint than Jalen Reagor because he is the 4th best tight end on the Miami Dolphins roster behind other franchise tag tight end Mike Gesicki, behind 3rd-round pick Hunter Long, and Durham Smythe of Notre Dame. He's super cheap, by the way. Here's what Fansided argued. Adding a tight end that can catch and block is something the Cowboys needn't have missed since Jason Witten left. Shaheen would also show the Cowboys they don't need to continue this back and forth with Schultz. Instead, they can show they are willing to move on and potentially upgrade the position at the same time. I don't know what's being consumed that would lead people to think Adam Shaheen is better than Dalton Schultz, but I would love to get some of that myself. Shaheen is a career backup at best. 2nd-round pick who has literally never been good in the NFL. He has 509 career yards. He's not even a better blocker than Dalton Schultz is. I feel like we just saw a 2nd-round pick, 6'7" tight end. Oh, he's good. But he's not. His best year of his last 4 was 150 yards. This guy is a Jeremy Sprinkle caliber tight end. Adding Adam Shaheen in no way actually makes the Cowboys a better football team. It's a lateral move that doesn't really make any sense. So what do you think in terms of need is the biggest position of need for the Dallas Cowboys? Is it tight end? Is it offensive line? Is it a different spot? Oh yeah, we'll come back to the tight end room in a minute, but I want to hear from you. Biggest position of need for the Cowboys? Frankly, I think Jake Ferguson's probably going to be a better player in year 1 than Adam Shaheen is. Sean McEwen has some, I guess, upside, although I think the somewhat media-led campaign for McEwen isn't really what we saw on film last year. But hey, he's young. Growth happens. Jeremy Sprinkle, this is a veteran player. The pitch was Shaheen offers veteran presence, which is also true. Jeremy Sprinkle didn't do much last year, 31 yards, but he had 241 yards in 2019. It's more than what I can say for Shaheen in a single season. The most I would give up, a 7th-round pick. And that's basically what the Dolphins gave up to get Shaheen after the Bears dealt him because, he was a bust as a 2nd-round pick a couple of years ago out of Ashland. So 7th-round pick at most is all I would give up for Shaheen, and that might even be a bit of an overpay. He might get cut by Miami. The last name is a name we've spent many video time on here. Deion Jones, the Falcons linebacker, who, of course, has the heavy ties to Dan Quinn. Those two played together, etc. We'll break down Deion Jones in depth, but of the 4 names, who is the player you would most like to acquire? Type in DJ for Deion Jones, JR for Jalen Reagor, JB for Jessie Bates, or AS for Adam Shaheen. Let me know who you would want to get in the comments right now. Jones, as we've mentioned before, might be done in Atlanta. The Athletic Report of the Falcons were going to move on from him via trade or release. I believe the contract, if he's traded for, is 2 years, $27.63 million. There's a $5 million roster bonus not included there because $4 million of it was supposed to be paid already. So either $227.63 or 2 years and $31 million and change, somewhere in that range. But maybe even work out a trade where the Falcons eat some of that money to still save them some salary cap space and get them a better pick back. I am excited about a potential Jabril Cox breakout season. Leighton Vander Esch is a great value at $2 million. And even though Deion Jones is not coming off his best year ever, in fact, he kind of struggled in coverage, missed too many tackles, etc., Jones can still be a very high-quality football player, I believe, or at least someone worthy of starting. So the final trade idea for me, one I've pitched before, a 5th-round pick for Jones. I think that's about the right value. We will have to wait and see if the Cowboys want to spend any of their top 4 salary cap space left on a player like Deion Jones, though.